Welcome back to a special edition of the ARCA Zoomcast. I'm Casey Campbell, and that, of course, is ARCA Menard Series PR Director Charlie Krall. And today was another big announcement. A few weeks ago, we talked about the main ARCA schedule getting released. This time, it's the ARCA East, the ARCA Menard Series East, and the ARCA Menard Series West schedules getting released as well. Let's just go through them. But one of the biggest changes, the season for East will start on March 25th at Five Flags, then April 28th at Dover, May 13th at Nashville Fairgrounds, May 20th at Flat Rock, exciting there, July 15th at Iowa, August 11th at Lucas Oil Raceway or IRP, Milwaukee Mile on August 27th, and Bristol on September 14th. The West schedule looks like this: Phoenix on March 10th with the main ARCA series, April 1st at Irwindale, April 22nd at Kern, June 2nd at Portland, June 9th at Sonoma, July 1st at Irwindale, July 29th at Shasta Speedway, August 19th at Evergreen, September 30th at All-American, October 13th at the Las Vegas Bullring, October 21st at Moderna, and November 3rd at Phoenix to finish it out. Well, first off, Charlie, thank you so much for joining us. And let's first talk about the East. First, talk about both schedules, and they look pretty good. A lot of lots of changes on there, but not a lot of dates going away.
Yeah, so we're really happy with those schedules, Casey, and it's 2 months worth of really hard work that comes together here in from all of the people here on our side of things that put these together, all of the racetracks and all of the coordination that comes into it. It's just been a lot of fun to be a part of it. So we are really excited, and when you combine it with the 20 race schedule that we have already released for the ARCA Menard series, I believe we've got 35 races at 32 different racetracks in 28 different states, I think, something like that. So it's really incredible to see how all of this come together. And for the entire ARCA Menard series platform, there's just a lot of, I'm really happy to see that there's a lot of stability right now. We're kind of in a point where we need some stability, get these teams a chance to get their footing underneath them, particularly here on the East side of things. And that's great, because we've had a lot of interest in that ARCA Menard Series East here in 2022. So moving into 2023. So yeah, we're looking forward to it, Casey. There's like you said, one race missing on there. Unfortunately, New Smyrna is not on the schedule. That said, the door is more than wide open for a return. We have been in conversations with them, and they got hit by a hurricane down there, Casey. They literally just got hit by a hurricane, and there's a lot of work to be done to get that racetrack ready. And rather than try to shoehorn an event into what is already going to be an incredibly busy couple of months for them, and we said, look, let's just take a breath here, and let's let you get the racetrack back to where you need it to be without the pressure of this event coming up. So Rusty Marcus and the Hart family down there, still folks that we look forward to doing business with in the very near future. And I think for everybody, it was just one of those, it was just a good call to maybe hit pause on it for this year. But yeah, we definitely look forward to being back there sometime in the very near future. But yeah, we'll kick off down at Five Flags, and we'll head to Dover. We'll head to the Nashville Fairgrounds. There's a lot of energy down there in Nashville, and I am super stoked to go back to Flat Rock.
Yeah.
I grew up watching ARCA races at Flat Rock Speedway when I was a kid, and to be back there with the East Series on a weekend that traditionally was an ARCA Menard Series weekend.
Yeah,
up there at Flat Rock
is at Toledo Speedway.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. So, and that is the date that eventually transitioned down to Toledo, correct? So yeah, it's going to be great to be there. 150 laps straight through, no breaks, no competition cautions.
Nice.
it's going to be just like the old days, and I'm looking forward to it. And we've got some soft commitments from a couple of drivers,
I've heard some of the
former
commitments
drivers.
made, so
We'll let them make their announcements. I'm not going to spoil anybody's news cycle on this one, but there's a lot of excitement about that one, and and if everybody comes who says they're going to come, should be a pretty stacked entry list.
absolutely. I can't wait for it. If Toledo was a stacked entry list, I think Flat Rock's going to even be more. So we'll have to see there. Let's talk about the West schedule for a minute. Also, I forgot to mention on the East schedule, 4 combo races this year. You kind of explained that in the last time we talked about it, but why 4?
Well, I think it gives a little bit more depth to that East Points Championship. It'll help, build those car counts up at some of those races, Indianapolis Raceway Park and in the Milwaukee Mile. It'll help build those car counts. But yeah, I mean, we are really trying to work on getting that East Series schedule built up back to where it needs to be. And, look, none of us are happy with 4 standalone races. We'd love it to have 10 standalone races. We really, really would. But, the car count just doesn't quite support it just yet. So, yeah, we're getting it there. Like I said, we've got a lot of really strong interest from a lot of teams and organizations who say they want to come. So we'll just take it step by step, and I think adding, IRP to the calendar for the East Series is a good thing. And adding Flat Rock is a good thing. So, we're just going to take it, like I said, one step at a time, Casey, and we'll see where we end up.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, let's talk about the West schedule for a minute. No real changes there. We'll talk about the additions in a minute, but obviously all the tracks are back from 2022. The second Portland date is gone though. I know that there's just a lot of, we were talking before this, but there's just a lot of scheduling between, a lot going on that IndyCar weekend that typically.
Yeah. And first and foremost, again, the folks at Green Savory are fantastic partners to work with. We work with them at Mid-Ohio. We've worked with them at Portland for a couple of years. And, they're the ones who said, hey, we'd love to have you come up and be a part of the IndyCar weekend. And we loved it. It's great. Portland, particularly that time of year, is just absolutely beautiful. That is a very, very tight weekend, and I'm, again, working with IndyCar. They're great people. Love working with the IndyCar folks. Whether it's the teams and the drivers, they always kind of love to come over and check out those stock cars, and our guys like to go check out those Indy cars. The comms folks are all great. I've got a pretty good relationship with the IndyCar comms team, and it's just a matter of finding time, and it's already a very busy weekend. So rather than try to fit the square peg in the round hole, we've decided to take one of those Portland dates and add a short track at Shasta. Good to have Shasta back on the schedule. It's a really solid schedule, Casey, and there's a lot of those races that are a very close drive to where a lot of those teams are based. So I think we're going to see some really strong good strong car counts at some of those California short track races. Madera's, it's a racetrack that's been around for a long time. It's been a part of the West Series schedule from time to time over the years, and it'll be great to have both of those racetracks back, and kind of like you said, rebuilding some of those traditional dates that we have seen over the years. And I can't wait to get going. I really can't.
Yeah, this is now that all the schedules are, I know there's some other stuff that also needs to go out. We'll discuss that later though. Talk about, you mentioned a little bit going back to both East and West. I know that next year with car counts, and I know you've said that the East you've gotten a lot of interest there. I know that also, I think Chris Wright and his team have really kind of worked on getting the West cars up there with kind of some of that. Where are we at in towards of that?
As far as what are our car count,
Yeah.
It's really hard to say where we're going to be right now. All I can say is that we've had a lot of interest. We fielded a lot of phone calls from people that we've quite honestly haven't talked to before. So that's a good thing. It's a good position to be in. That's really all you can ask for. We can't force these folks to come and race with us, but it's good that they're interested. And like I said, Casey, if we get everybody who says they're coming, if they all come, we'll be fine. It's a hard place to be, but we'll start getting some of these license applications, and we'll get all that in and processed, and we'll have a little bit better heads up where we're at after the first of the year. But like I said, if we get even half the people who say that they're interested in coming, I think we'll be just fine.
Talk about the two new tracks on the West schedule. Kind of explain, is it
Shasta?
Shasta. Okay.
Shasta and Madera. So Madera, Madera has hosted, it looks like 7 races previously. First one back in 1973. The most recent back in 2009. Eric Holmes was the winner then. Yeah. So it's been going on 13 years, and Shasta has been a little bit more of a regular part of our schedule over the years. They have had 14 races over the years. Chris Eggleston, the last winner there back in 2015. So, and some of the most recognizable names in West Series history have won out there in the past. Scotty Kane, Bill Schmidt, Jim Walker, Jim Insolo, Jim Robinson, Ron Eaton, former Daytona 500 winner Derek Cope was a winner out there. Bill Sedgwick, who is a multiple-time driver and crew chief champion. Rick Corelli. Yeah, so some of the most respected names in stock car racing out on the West Coast have won out there. So yeah, there's a lot of history at both of those two racetracks, and anytime we get to add a new little bull ring to our schedule, I'm pretty excited about it. I love when we get to go to All American. I miss the days of Douglas County and going up to Idaho for the Idaho 208. I wish that I was around for some of those races, but yeah, man, I love these tight little bull rings, and I think that's where the West Series is at its strongest. When we get to go to places like the bull ring out at Las Vegas, or to All American Speedway or Irwindale, or any of these little short tracks.
Yeah, for sure. And the newest track on the, well, not new to us, but the new track to the East schedule, Flat Rock. Kind of explain for people that may not know where this is. This is in Michigan, and this is the other track that's owned by Ron Drager.
Right. It's a sister track to Toledo Speedway. It's about 25 miles north of Toledo Speedway, off of I-275 on Telegraph Road. It's in downriver Detroit. It's been there since 1953. It opened the same year ARCA was founded. It's had 56 ARCA races at it from 1953 through 2000. Frank Kimmel, unsurprisingly, the last winner there back in 2000. So yeah, it's a racetrack I grew up at. I sold newspapers and programs at the front gate when I was 10 years old, and a lot of milestone events in my life happened there at Flat Rock Speedway. Held hands with the girl for the first time. Got my first smooch on the lips from a girl at Flat Rock for the first time. So it's a very important racetrack to our history. I've got a lot of fond memories of going there, and tight little quarter mile. World renowned for the school bus figure eight racing that we do here a few times a year. The Motor City Madmen of the ARCA figure eight division race there as well. Pretty good solid late model division that we race there on a weekly basis. And yeah, it's just a really neat little racetrack, and I'm so happy we're going back. I've always envisioned like a 400 lap ARCA Menard Series race there, to crown a champion, but in all reality, it's going to be fantastic going up there for kind of a 150 lap sprint race with the E Series, and just like the good old days to me. And I'm so looking forward to it.
And I can't wait to go, because I've never been there. So it's I always like to go to tracks where I haven't been to, and I got to check off a few of them this year with Berlin and Mid-Ohio, and I get to check off possibly a few more.
Yeah, you're gonna like coming to Flat Rock, Casey. It's a cool little joint. Yep,
it's gonna be fun. And of course, I should mention this too: all East and West all ARCA Menard Series East and West races that aren't combination races will be on Flow Racing. So
Yeah, all of the standalone races
all
that
the-
are, the standalone races that aren't in combination with the ARCA Menard series will be live on Flow. Yep.
Yep, okay. And maybe hopefully you will be calling all those races. So
I hope they let me.
I hope so too.
That'd be great.
Yeah. All right. Well, of course, and also kind of talk about what's now that all the schedules are out, what do you guys still need? There's still a few more things that you might need to do. I know the Sioux Chief Showdown schedule needs to be out, and also the TV partner schedule needs to be out for the main ARCA series.
Yeah, I think that's the next thing you'll see from us is our broadcast schedule for the ARCA Menard series. We're really close on that. Some cool news on that side of things. So stick around for that. We've got our Road to Daytona announcement coming up, and we've got some really cool drivers that are going to be a part of that one coming up. So yeah, we got a couple of big announcements yet to come before the year's over with. So I say stay tuned, and we'll get that out to you pretty quick.
Sounds like a plan. All right. Well, Charlie Krall, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us about the East and West schedules. And have a good holiday if I don't see you.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Thanks.